Imagine waking up one day to find that the beautiful beaches you grew up with are slowly changing and deteriorating. Climate change can seem like an issue that is too big to tackle, one that feels hopeless at first glance. Many people might think, what can I do? My action won't change anything. But today I want to show you that we can make a big difference in our lives and in our world. Hi everyone, my name is Carina Xiao, a grade 10 student at Semiahmoo Secondary. Today I want to share with you an experiment I conducted on Warrock's Ocean using what I learned from my high school science classes. I want to raise more awareness of a critical issue that affects all of us. The increasing level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and how it is making our oceans more acidic. This phenomenon, known as ocean acidification, has far-reaching consequences for marine life, our economy, and our community. By understanding these impacts, we can better appreciate the importance of taking actions to protect our environment. But more importantly, I want to demonstrate that no matter what our background or skill levels are, we all have the power to better understand our environment and think of ways to improve our community. Growing up in Warrock, the beach has always been a place of joy and relaxation for me. It's a place where I feel connected to nature. However, I understand that rising sea levels could threaten my community. To me, this threat seemed very far away, almost unreal. One day I started wondering impacts of CO2. Does carbon dioxide affect our oceans as well? In order to find out, I decided to conduct an experiment by testing the pH level of the ocean water to see how carbon dioxide is impacting it. This experiment made me realize once again how much our actions matter. To better understand how climate change is impacting my community, I use scientific knowledge I learned from my high school science classes. In order to explain my experiment on how carbon dioxide affects our oceans, we need to delve into some basic chemistry first. Are you ready for a grade 10 level chemistry lesson? When CO2 is released into the atmosphere, a significant portion of it is absorbed by the world's ocean. This process helps to mitigate the greenhouse effect. But it comes with a cost. When CO2 dissolves in seawater, it reacts with the water to form carbonic acid. This acid then deassociates into bicarbonate and hydrogen ions, increasing the acidity of the ocean. I was curious to see if the CO2 in the air would impact the acidity of the water. To test my hypothesis, I measured the pH level of the water at 3 different beaches: Warrock Beach, Crescent Beach, and Centennial Beach in Tawasom. What I found out was that the acidity level of the ocean fluctuated significantly from a pH level of 7.9 at Warrock Beach on weekdays to a pH level of 7.4 at Crescent Beach on weekends. Historically, the pH level of the oceans ranges from 7.5 to 8.5. This means that, compared to historical levels, the oceans in Warrock are more acidic than normal. We often talk about how carbon dioxide makes our climate hotter, but the increasing acidity of the oceans can have significant implications for our community. One of the most immediate and visible impacts of ocean acidification is on marine organisms that rely on calcium carbonate to form their shells and skeletons. These include shellfish like oysters, clams, mussels, as well as coral reefs. The increase in acidity reduces the availability of carbonate ions, which are essential for these organisms to build and maintain their structure. For example, oyster and clams have difficulty forming their shells in more acidic conditions, leading to weaker shells that are more susceptible to predation and environmental stress. Furthermore, the increase in acidity can lead to a loss of biodiversity, as some species may not be able to adapt to the changing conditions. This loss of biodiversity can reduce the resilience of marine ecosystems, making them more susceptible to other stressors like pollution and climate change. Beyond the economic consequences, ocean acidification can pose environmental and health risks. The loss of biodiversity due to ocean acidification can reduce the resilience of marine ecosystems, making them more susceptible to other stressors like pollution and climate change. This can lead to a decline in the overall health of the ocean, affecting its ability to provide essential services like carbon sequestration and oxygen production. Additionally, ocean acidification can cause changing water quality. The changing water quality can impact recreational activities and even the desalination processes used to produce drinking water. As the ocean becomes more acidic, it can alter the chemical composition of seawater, potentially affecting its suitability for various uses. For many coastal communities, the ocean is not just a source of economic activity, but also a vital part of cultural heritage and way of life. Many cultural events and traditional practices revolve around the ocean and its resources. The degradation of marine ecosystems due to ocean acidification can impact these cultural practices, leading to a loss of cultural identity and social cohesion. For example, many indigenous communities that rely on shellfish for generations may find it increasingly difficult to sustain their traditional practices as shellfish population decline. This can lead to a loss of their cultural knowledge and traditions that have been passed down through generations. So, what can we do to address this issue? The first step is to reduce our carbon footprint. Each of us can take small steps to reduce our carbon emissions, such as using public transportation, reducing energy consumption, and supporting renewable energy sources. By making these changes in our daily life, we can collectively make a big difference. We can also raise awareness of ocean acidification and advocate for policies that protect our environment. This includes supporting legislation that reduces carbon emissions, promotes sustainable fishing practices, and protects marine habitats. By working together, we can create a more sustainable future for our oceans and our communities. Climate action starts with us. It starts with recognizing that our actions, no matter how small, are important. Climate action starts with us. Let's not wait for others to take the lead. Let's be the change we want to see in the world. Thank you.